This is Pustak Verma, and you are watching Pustak Verma Education for All YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about an essay from grade 11 compulsory English new course. It's What is Poverty by Joe Goodwin Parker. So before dealing with this essay, What is Poverty by Joe Goodwin Parker, we will discuss about some of the questions mentioned in our textbooks. So question A, what do you consider poverty to be? Do you have a definite explanation of it, or do you consider it an abstract circumstance? So here the author raises a question. What do you consider? तपाईको विचारमा पोभर्टी के हुनु, पोभर्टी अथवा केलाई भनिन्छ र पोभर्टीको डेफिनिट एउटा एक्सप्लेनेसन छ अर छैन, छैन भने यो अब्सर्ड भनेको अब्स्ट्राक्ट भनेको एउटा बेग सर्कमस्टेन्सेस परिस्थितिसँग रिलेटेड छ भन्ने कुराले डिल गर्छ. सो एन्सर इज I consider poverty to be a bad destiny. एउटा नराम्रो दुर्भाग्य हो for the poor. I have definite explanation of it. I take it as a lack of necessity. Poverty भनेको आवश्यक चिजहरूको कमी हुनु हो, जस्तो फुड, सेल्टर, खानेकुराहरू, वासस्थान and clothing. It is a state of not having enough material possessions or income for a person's basic need. उसको बेसिक आवश्यकताहरूको पनि उसँग नहुनु. It means not being able to heat your home, pay your rent or buy essentials for your children. भाडा तिर्न नसक्नु हो, आफ्नो बच्चाको लागि आवश्यक चिजहरू किन्न नसक्नु हो र आफ्नो घरमा अथवा के गर्नु त हिटबाट बचाउन नसक्नु हो. यस्तो खालका प्रब्लम्सहरू छन् भने that can be concerned to the poverty. Then question B, look at this picture. What do you see? Where do you see such people? Who are the poor? Is why are they poor? And where do the poor usually live? यसको कुरा गर्दाखेरि हामीले यो पिक्चरमा के देख्छौं, कस्तो पिपलहरू यहाँ छन्, गरिब बनेका कस्ता हुन्, वाइ तिनीहरू किन तिनीहरू पुअर छन् र पुअर पिपलहरू कहाँ युजुअली बस्ने गर्छन्. सो इन द पिक्चर आई सी अ पुअर वुमन with her baby on her lap, and I see such people in the slum. Slum भनेको झुपडपट्टीमा यस्तो खालका मान्छेहरू हामीले पाउँछौं. Side of the road, living in the tent मा बसिरहेको. Poor are the persons who are deprived one means वञ्चित. Basic necessities, आवश्यक एकदम आधारभूत आवश्यकता भन्दा वञ्चित हुन्छन्. They cannot afford to have food, shelter, clothes, education, healthcare facilities along with the economic activities. यस्तो सुविधाहरू तिनीहरूसँग हुँदैन. They are poor because they lack economy or finance. तिनीहरू गरिब किन हुन्छन्, उनीहरूसँग पैसा हुँदैन, अरु फ्यासिलिटिज पनि हुँदैन. And they usually live in the footpath, tented house. कहिले फुटपाथमा बस्छन्, कहिले टेन्टेड हाउसमा, कहिले स्लममा, कहिले फिल्डमा, ओल्ड हाउसेसमा, watery houses, ruined houses, and so on. Question C, what is poverty according to Parker? Parker, the author of this essay, or essayist of this chapter, Parker stresses that poverty is more ugly. According to Parker, poverty के हुन्छ, एकदमै ugly हुन्छ, cruel हुन्छ, devastating than it is shown in the newspaper. According to her, poverty as a lack that is living without hope, बिना आशाको जीवन जिउनु, बेटर फुड पनि नहुनु, मेडिसिनल केयर नहुनु, proper sanitation को सुविधा नहुनु, and proper education नहुनुलाई हामीले poverty. It is like an acid जस्तो हो that destroys pride, honor, health and future. So definition of poverty is mentioned here as well. Shortage of common things such as food, clothing, shelter, safe drinking water, all of which determine the quality of life. यस्तो चीज poverty मा के हुन्छ, lack of हुन्छ, कमी हुन्छ. Then about the author Joe Goodwin Parker. About the author, Joe Goodwin Parker was an anonymous person from the West Virginia, the southern United States. She mailed her essay to the Judge Henderson. उनले यो एस्सेलाई जज हेन्डरसनलाई मेल गरेकी थिइन्. Preferring that the editor present no byline, Judge Henderson received it while he was writing his 1971 book America's Other Children Public Schools outside the suburbia. And except signed Joe Goodwin Parker, no further information was ever discovered about the essay and the source. Parker remains as a mystery. उनलाई रहस्यमयको रूपमा हामीले पाउँछौँ. Parker's essay What is Poverty is about her personal experience regarding the rural poverty from a childhood to adulthood. यसले के गर्छ उनको व्यक्तिगत जीवनलाई पनि के गर्छ मेन्सन्स गरेको छ. With the use of connotative language, harsh images, life and family experiences with many more challenges and hardship in the family. So this is about the author Joe Goodwin Parker, which is only very little about her. Then glossary terms: antihistamines, a drug used to treat allergies, chronic, a long-stating long-term diapers, त्यो केटा छोराछोरी सानो बालबालिकाहरूले लगाउने बेबीको बटम्समा, enslaved to make a slave, illegitimate, illegal, unlawful, immoral, not having morality, stains, दुर्गन्ध, rotting, सडिरहेको, piety, दया, and private toilet is garbage debris, sober, फाउडा अथवा यस कोदालो, chronic anemia disease having low level of red blood cell, and antihistamines drug causing physiological is अथवा effect, illegitimate, unlawful or illicit, disappear, distress or anguish. Then about the essay are the main points or the summary of the essay What is Poverty? What is Poverty is an essay written by American writer Joe Goodwin Parker. Is about Parker's personally experienced rural poverty. She explains her story from the childhood to adulthood. बाल्यकालदेखि उनले आफू यङ हुने बेलासम्म जे फेस गरेकी छिन्, that is she addressed not only the situations of the poor but also its misunderstanding by upper and middle class people. कसरी upper and middle class people अलि misunderstand लिएको हुन्छन्, impossibility of self liberation from the poverty. Then she talks about the different aspect of poverty. उनले विभिन्न धारणाहरू poverty को मेन्सन्स गरेकी छिन्. Parker talks about the lack of health condition, स्वास्थ्यको कन्डिसन पनि राम्रो नहुनु, and she and her 3 children suffer from, जसबाट उनको 3टा बच्चाहरू पनि पीडित हुन्छन्. Also it reveals a real graphic account of what is being poor. यसले वास्तविक पोवर के हो भन्ने कुरा देखाउँछ. She stated that it is more ugly, it is more cruel, it is more devastating, एकदमै पीडादायी, एकदमै विनाशकारी छ, and it is shown in the newspaper. Newspaper भन्दा वास्तविक पोवर्टी के हुन्छ त बढी ट्रबलसम छ. In her essay she says to listen to the story of what poverty is. उनले के भन्छिन्, तपाईहरुले पनि all the readers should know what the poverty is, from her under where to living arrangement and everything in between. Parker resides in poverty. Parker presents a realistic account of the same लाजलाग्दो, humiliation, आत्मग्लानी भएको, outrage, रिस लाग्ने of being poor. She defines poverty as a lack of, that is living without hope, बिना आशाको बाँच्नु, बिना खानेकुराहरू नहुनु, मेडिसिनल केयर नहुनु, proper sanitation नहुनु, proper education नहुनु. अनि उनले के she further says that it is like acid, जसले के गर्छ मान्छेको फ्युचर, हेल्थ, अनर, प्राइड सबै चीजलाई के गर्छ डिस्ट्रोय गर्छ. Parker's main purpose is to show how shameful and humiliating, disgusting it is be to poor is. कति लाजमर्दो छ, कति आत्मग्लानी पूर्ण छ, कति एकदम घृणायुक्त छ पुअर हुनु भन्ने कुरा उनको के हो त मेन उद्देश्य हो. पुअर हुनु, गरिब हुनु भनेको एकदमै घृणापूर्ण अथवा सेमफुल छ, ह्युमिलिएटिङ छ. She wants to draw the reader's attention to the pathetic and painful, पीडादायी अवस्था situation of the poor people पनि देखाउन खोजेकी छिन्. Poverty breaks real relationship. Parker had 3 children and she divorced her husband. उनको विचारमा according to the author पोवर्टीले रिलेसनशिप पनि ब्रेक गर्छ, रिलेसनशिप पनि मान्छेको के हुन्छ ब्रेक हुन्छ ड्यू टु पोवर्टी. पार्करको 3 वटा चिल्ड्रन हुन्छन्. सी डिभोर्स हर हस्बैंड बिकज सी हैज लस्ट हिज जब एन्ड दे कुड नट बाई द कन्ट्रासेप्टिभ्स टु प्रिभेन्ट अनवान्टेड बर्थ. इभन श्रीमानले के हुन्छ त्यो फ्यामिली प्लानिङको जो मेडिसिनहरू हुन्छ, बर्थ कन्ट्रोल गर्ने कन्ट्रासेप्टिभ्सहरू पनि उले किन्न सक्दैन, त्यसकारण उनी हस्बेन्डलाई छोड्छिन्. सी ह्याड अ जब एन्ड वन्स सी लेफ्ट द चिल्ड्रेन अन्डर द केयर अफ देयर ग्रेन्ड मदर. पहिला उनी आफ्नो बच्चाहरूलाई हजुरआमासँग हेर्न छोडेकी हुन्छन्. When she returned home, she found her children under the pitiable condition. Her youngest son was covered with the fly specks and his diaper had not been changed since morning. बिहानदेखि यंगेस्ट छोरा जब उनी फर्केर आउँछिन्, यंगेस्ट छोरालाई डाइपर नचेन्ज गरेको पाउँछिन्. When she dried the diaper came off, the baby's bits flesh came out. जब त्यो सुकेको डाइपर पनि बच्चाको बाहिर निस्क्यो, बच्चाको अथवा छाला पनि अलिकति गइसकेको थियो। और अदर चाइल्ड वाज प्लेइङ इन द ब्रोकन ग्लासेस, अर्को बच्चा फुटेको सिसामा खेलिरहेको थियो। ओल्डर वान वाज प्लेइङ अलोन एट द इज अफ द लेक, तलाउको किनारामा सबैभन्दा ठुलो अथवा बच्चा खेलिरहेको थियो। सी डिडन्ट ह्याभ इनफ इन्कम टु एडमिट देम एट अ नर्सरी स्कुल, उनले बच्चालाई नर्सरी स्कुलमा पनि एडमिट गर्न पाउँदैनथिन्, बिकज सी अर्न्स $20 अ विक, र नर्सरी स्कुलले पनि $20 अ विक फर हिज चिल्ड्रेन कस्ट गर्थ्यो। बिकज अफ द्याट सी क्विटेड द जब, उनले के गर्छिन्, जागिर पनि छोड्छिन्। फर्दर मोर सी सेज द्याट पोभर्टी इज अ डट, यो के हो, फोहर हो। नो मनी फर द सोप टु वास, साबुन नहुनु, कपडा धुनको लागि, क्लिन यस नगर्नको लागि, भाँडाहरू सफा गर्ने पनि नहुनु। सी वासेस द डिसेस विथ कोल्ड वाटर, उनले के गर्छिन्, भाँडाहरू चिसो पानीले धुने गर्छिन्। सी इट अल्सो मिन्स स्ट्यान्डिङ अप अल द नाइट इन द कोल्ड नाइट, चिसोमा उनीहरू उभिएर बस्ने गर्थे। पोभर्टी इज कुकिङ विदाउट फुड, यस खाना पकाउने तर पानी मात्र। क्लिनिङ विदाउट सोप्स, यस भनेको बिना साबुनको भाँडाहरू धुने। इट अल्सो मिन्स नो निडल्स, सियोहरू नहुने, थ्रेड्स नहुने, नो हट वाटर, नो एस्पिरिन, नो अथवा प्यारासिटामोल टेब्लेट पनि नहुने, नो होम मेडिसिन, जुकाको औषधि पनि नहुनु, नो क्रिम, नो सेम्पू एन्ड मेनी मोर। इट मिन्स आस्किङ फर हेल्प विथ द पर्सन हु नेभर वान्ट्स टु सी योर फेस। And poverty says, and Parker says that poverty is remembering the painful instances of the life, such as marrying without money and no money for the birth control. Poverty भनेको birth control को लागि पैसा पनि नहुनु, contraceptive किन्ने पैसा नहुनु। Poverty is looking into the black future, भविष्य कालो हुन्छ। She says that her children had no extra books, no magazines, no extra pencil, no Karen papers, and what they had were worms, किराहरू थिए, infections थिए, pink eyes all summer, आँखाहरू पनि पिङ्क हुन्थे। Thus Parker stated that poverty is an acid, यो acid हो, with which not only burns the life of the people, यसले मान्छेको जिन्दगी जलाउँछ, also destroys the images as well. It only makes the people remain silent and despair. She talks about different aspects of poverty in her essay. यसरी उनले एउटा मिजरेबल, ट्रबलसम, एकदमै दयनीय अवस्था पोभर्टी हुनुको त्यो आफ्नो पर्सनल एक्सपिरियन्सेस उनले के गरेकी छिन्, प्रेजेन्ट गरेकी छिन्। Thus we can say that it's an personal essay which reflects her own personal problem that she faces as she was very poor in her life. Then about understanding the text. अब क्वेशनहरु केही दिएको छ। The question first one, what is poverty according to the Parker? We have already discussed. Poverty is living without hope, no better food, no medicinal care, no proper sanitation, no proper education. It is like acid. Acid जस्तो छ that destroys मान्छेको life, honor, its health and future. How is poverty difficult for Parker's children? List some specific examples. पार्करको लागि पोभर्टी डिफिकल्ट, पार्करको बच्चाहरूको लागि पोभर्टी कसरी डिफिकल्ट हो अथवा गाह्रो सिचुएसन्स हो, केही इन्स्टान्सेसहरू के गरे, एक्जाम्पल्सहरू लेखा। पोभर्टी इज डिफिकल्ट फर द पार्कर्स चिल्ड्रेन एज हर चिल्ड्रेन डु नट ह्याभ प्रपर फुड, क्लथेस, एजुकेसन, केयर, सैनिटेसन एन्ड सो अन। Parkers feed food like oilless is cornbread and her breakfast for the children. Once she found her youngest son was covered in the fly specks, not change his diaper since morning देखि diaper change नभएको, next son broken glass मा खेलिरहेको, eldest one lake को किनारामा खेलेको. They were not sent to a good schools, even any schools. Her children had no extra books, magazines and no extra pencils or papers. यसरी हामीले के भन्न सक्छौं, these example state that Parker's children were living in a extreme poverty. How does Parker try to obtain help and what problem does she encounter? उनी कसरी सहयोग लिन चाहन्थिन् तर उनले समस्याहरू फेस गर्छिन्। Parker tries to obtain help by asking for money with many people. धेरै मान्छेहरू अर्गनाइजेसनसँग उनी आफ्नो बच्चाको लागि पैसा माग्न खोज्छिन्, तर ती मान्छेहरू के गर्छन्, उनीतिर she is asked to wait for hours and hours. उनीहरू ल घण्टौसम्म पर्खन लगाउँछन् र उनी केही पनि पैसा दिदैनन्। She finds difficulty in meeting the right person, organizations who are ready to help her support her children and herself. Why are people's opinion and prejudices her greatest obstacles? उनको विचारमा मान्छेको विचारहरू, मान्छेको पूर्वाधारहरू जो छन् अथवा पूर्वाग्रह भन्छ, प्रिजुडिसेस भनेको पूर्वाग्रह र उनको मान्छेहरूको विचारहरू कसरी उनको लागि ठूलो समस्या हुन्। People's opinion and prejudices are her greatest obstacles in the sense that perspectives are responsible for not getting any supportive hand. मान्छेहरूले उनलाई कुनै पनि किसिमको सहयोग गर्दैनथे. People do not consider the painful situation of the poor people. उनीहरूले न पुअर पिपलको सिचुएसन कन्सिडर गर्छन् न पुअर पिपललाई उनले हेल्प गर्छन्. Question number E. How does Parker defend her inability to get help? पार्करले कसरी डिफेन्ड आफूलाई बचाउँछिन् inability to get help? How does she discount the usual solutions society has for poverty, welfare, education and health? In this essay, Parker, what is poverty? Parker defends her inability to get help. उनले आफ्नो इनेबिलिटी असमर्थता सहयोग नपाएको उनले के गरेकी छिन् त्यसलाई बचाउँछिन्. हर सेभरल स्टेटमेन्ट्स द्वारा and her personal experience of poverty. She discounts the usual solutions society has for poverty for connecting her experiences related to welfare, education and health clinics. She spends before many people organization spreading her hands asking for the supports, but they do not care and say wait for the time and again. Promises are very hard to make. In case of education, her children have no extra books, no magazines, no extra pencils, no papers are for projects. Even if she earns just $20 a week and her children needed to send to school $20 a week. So she even quitted the jobs as well. In the case of clinics, health clinics, Parker's family is quite far in both finance as well as distance. Thus, Parker faces many challenges in all these cases. Explain the following. Is explain the lines. Is poverty is looking into the black future. Poverty भनेको कालो फ्युचरमा हेर्नु हो. त्यहाँ किन त there is no white अथवा there is no bright future. उज्यालो हुँदैन, मान्छेहरू पढ्न पाउँदैनन्, तिनीहरू एजुकेसन हुँदैन, हेल्थ हुँदैन, केयर हुँदैन. So many obstacles is arise. In above mentioned line, Parker associate poverty with a dark future, stating that poverty leads people in the dark of coming days. पोवर्टीले मान्छेलाई फ्युचर उसको ब्राइट हुँदैन, डार्क फ्युचरमा लैजान्छ. इट अराइजेस सो मेनी पिटिफुल हार्डशिप, कठिनाइहरू ल्याइदिन्छ, पेनफुल सिचुएसन्सहरू ल्याउँछ अनि काउन्टलेस अब्स्टेकल्स ल्याउँछ. which leads children only to drugs, bars, alcohol, slavery and so on. What does Parker mean the by the poor are always silent? जब उनले के भन्छन् पुअर्सहरू जहिले पनि साइलेन्ट हुन्छन्, यो भनेर उनले के भन्न खोजेकी छिन्? Parker means by the poor are always silent, they are in the state of helplessness. Silent refers to state of helplessness. त्यसलाई कसैले पनि सहयोग गर्दैन, तिनीहरू एक साइड कुनामा उभिएका हुन्छन्. People become helpless and silent as they feel themselves backward and not equal in the presence of others. According to Parker, it is money which divides people rich and poor, categorizes and makes them talkative and silent. So money makes people talk more. Because of lack of finance or money, people are silent in state, and that is represented by these lines of Parker's. What writing strategies does author use at the beginning of the most paragraph? Do you notice a recurring pattern? What is it? At the beginning of the most paragraph, the author uses refrain. Refrain भनेको repetition, connotative and informal languages, harsh images, खरो imagesहरू, personal account, conversational style to convey the message to the readers effectively, meaningfully, sincerely, and appropriately. Parker uses recurring patterns in the essay, what we call refrain strategies, to convey our message to the readers. For example, poverty is भन्ने टर्म युज गरेकी छिन्. She described the situations minutely with many more details such as her pitiful homely environment full of smell of dirt, garbage and poor health condition. How does Parker develop each paragraph? What details make each paragraph memorable? के कुराले अथवा प्याराग्राफ उनले कसरी डेभलप गरेकी छिन् र कसरी एउटा प्रत्येक प्याराग्राफले का डिटेल्सले मान्छेलाई मेमोरेबल स्मरणयुक्त बनाउँछ. Parker develops each paragraph with providing each new definition of poverty and clarifies it with her personal experiences with conversational tone and minor details. Her topic sentence is aptly justified with her detail of personal and painful experiences, bitter reality of poverty, which makes each paragraph memorable, effective, communicative, justifiable to the readers. In the final paragraph, how does author uses questions to involve the readers in the issue of poverty. अन्तिम प्याराग्राफमा उनले क्वेशन युज गरेका छन्, त्यो क्वेशन युज गरेर कसरी रिडर्सहरूलाई के गर्छिन्, पोभर्टीको इस्युसँग कनेक्ट गर्छिन्. In the final paragraph of the essay, What is Poverty? The author uses conversational and informational style to convey her issues to grim poverty to the readers. Parker is successful in conveying her message through the readers. She involves the readers into her interactions, saying them to look at her angrily, matira athwa risaera hera, which will help to leave her as well. She says that poor are silent so that she asks others to remain silent too, and she catches attention of the reader by portraying factual and real plight of the poor people. Reference beyond the text. Define a social problem. एउटा सामाजिक समस्या, होमलेसनेस, अनइम्प्लोइमेन्ट, रेसिजम. इमिटेटिङ पार्कर्स स्टाइल. एउटा के गर त सोशल प्रब्लमलाई डिफाइन गरेस. होमलेसनेस इज स्लिपिङ अन द फुटपाथ आर रोड. होमलेसनेस भनेको फुटपाथमा सुत्नु अथवा रोडमा सुत्नु हो. इट मेक्स पिपल विकर इन मेनी एस्पेक्ट. इट इज अ कम्प्लेक्स सोशल प्रब्लम्स with a variety of underlying economic and social factors such as poverty, lack of affordable housing, uncertain physical and mental health, addictions, and community and family breakdown. It degrades people's value, prestige, and status in the society. Unemployment is a jobless situation. People get ridiculed. मान्छेहरू एकदम हास्यपद अथवा हास्यको पात्र हुन्छन्. If they are not, they are unemployed. They are disrespected and humiliated in the society by other who have job and status in the racism. अर्को भन्न सक्छौं racism पनि के हो त, is living life with inferiority. एउटा superiority हुन्छ, एउटा inferiority, एउटा एकदम लो लेभलमा बस्नु. It is believed that different races pose especially so as to distinguish them from inferior or superior to one to another. It causes negative psychological, social and educational economical impact throughout the lifespan and contributes to mental health problems in the community. Then about another question, this is using adjective to highlight the futility of situation, write a short definitions essay on growing up in poverty. Growing up in poverty माथि एउटा essay लेख्ने भनेछ. So growing up in poverty, poverty is a pitiable condition, एकदम दुखदायी condition हो. It is the inability to meet even basic necessities of life. It is inability to fulfill daily requirements of the family. I think poverty is growing up day by day, which fragile, एकदमै weak छ, कमजोर छ, पिपलहरूलाई बनाउँछ, makes them suffer in the grim poverty. It is material deprivation. वास्तवमा material को अभाव पनि हुनु हो. चाइल्ड लेबर, चाइल्ड एक्सप्लोइटेसन, street violence, domestic ill treatment, bullying, sexual abuse, and many more are the result of growing up due to the poverty. It is constant struggles to either fight back or perish भनेको हराउने. In such environment, child marriage, early pregnancy, repeated pregnancies, rape, domestic abuse, aggressive, etc. are seen in the society due to grim poverty. People are physically weak, mentally weak. यस्तो विभिन्न किसिमका सफरिङ्सहरूबाट तिनीहरू पीडित हुन्छन्. Lack of proper medical aid and advice, lack of vaccinations, facilities, child marriages lead poor health and high infant mortality. Death through accident is a common occurrence where day-to-day life is met with constant hurdles and life-threatening obstacles. Thus, poverty is a huge thing. We do not even realize that. Maybe we don't even notice, but there is a lot kid growing up in a poverty. Things like food, education, health, other basic needs that are what majority of people are missing up. It is really a difficult task and most challenging one. And this is the situation of slum. यसलाई हामीले झुपडपट्टी भन्छौं, लिभिङ अफ पुअर पिपल. यस्तो ठाउँमा बस्ने मान्छेहरूलाई हामीले के भन्छौं, स्लम भन्छौं. पुअर पिपल्सको लाइफ एकदमै मिजरेबल हुन्छ. बस्ने, खाने, तिनीहरूको फ्यासिलिटिज, ल्याक अफ इभन बेसिक निड्सहरू हुन्छन्. So this is about the essay What is Poverty. If you find this video helpful and interesting, like the video, share it, subscribe it, click on the bell icon to get notification from upcoming videos. Thank you for watching this. Goodbye. Have a good day.